Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Emrat. If you're catching us live on Twitch, we're going to be playing some Shen Bar today. If you're watching on YouTube later, don't forget I always stream live on Twitch. I always like interacting with you guys. If you ever have any fun decks to recommend, anything like that, feel free to stop by. Now, as you know, I've been struggling to find some fun decks to play this season that I've been particularly good with. And so we've been messing around with some Gwen, right, all this stuff. We're going with some Shen Bar today. It has a pretty decent win rate, and it apparently has a pretty good matchup into some of the meta decks. Now, I think it has a pretty tough time beating Kaisa still, which is kind of expected for most decks, right? But Kaisa just kind of pings everything off. You don't really have any fantastic answers against Kaisa, because even if you homecoming her right away, right, they're just going to be able to use the second skin anyways. So it's pretty difficult to beat Kaisa. And even some of the Twisted Fate decks can be kind of difficult because stuff like Make It Rain can ping off your barriers. But this is very much a type of deck I enjoy. It very much reminds me of when I first got into Legends of Runeterra playing Shen Fiora. Like Green Glade Caretaker stuff, like all the way back in Foundations. Oh man, Key Guardian. I thought this card was so busted when I started playing because I was never really good at card games, I suppose. So I didn't really understand the concept of cycling. But I was like, dang, you get to replace the card and you get something barrier in hand. So right when you drop it, it's totally safe. Oh, I thought it was so fun. Shadow Assassin's one of my favorite cards all time. So a lot of fun cards for me. Sion's obviously been one of my favorite in Ion over the past few expansions. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't had extreme success with it, but I haven't been negative when running around either, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully find some good games. I've struggled with the play patterns on this deck. It just feels, not that the deck is clunky, but I just don't really know when to play stuff, because for example, I think I've been keeping Bard too much. I'll have an opening hand with a nice curve and I'm like, oh well, I guess Bard will just be our turn 4 play, but I think I just need to ditch Bard. I should never ever keep Bard in any Bard deck, right? Okay, this is a matchup I'm actually really happy to see, because we should be able to beat pretty much any board-based deck. But for example, Green Glade Caretaker and Esmus is fine, right? But now Bird and Esmus is good. But a lot of times it just feels like you'll play your Green Glade Caretaker and your Kinky Student, whatever. But if you don't have any barriers in hand, then you just feel like your board's just super weak, and you really rely on those big swings of getting double barrier at the same time to really push the progress. I don't know, because even in some Bard matchups, it feels sometimes like your Chimes come a lot later. For example, Bard Jinx just cycles through the deck so fast. Bard Alawi has so much card draw that also cycles through their Chimes. So I'm really excited to play this deck because I think it's a lot of fun. And so I'm excited to try to get good with it. Here, I kind of just want to drop another Esmus. Just go on curve. Next turn we could play Caretaker and then attack with Moral Support being reduced to 2 mana. I don't know how great that is, but it seems pretty solid. Depends on how they develop, I suppose. You know, I still see Conchologist a fair bit, but I never ever see Loping Telescope. Nah, that's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty decent. So yeah, I'm curious. Do we ever do this? Is there any reason to bump this guy up one instead of doing this? I don't think we particularly care if they waste a Sharp Sight on killing our bird, right? This way, this just makes us healthier for future attacks. Protects from a Broadwing a little bit easier. Obviously, maybe it just deters them from blocking it also, so it won't reduce its health. Yeah, if they want to do this just to burn on a... Okay, well that's actually interesting. So do we sacrifice an Esmus here? I don't think so. This is right here. What I mean, the play patterns I'm just not sure about. Whoa, I think my volume was cranked up super high. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Whenever I pick up my mic from my desk, I always mess up with the volume. Okay. We push an extra 2 damage. Keep our Esmus alive. I think it's worth it. They already used the Sharp Sight. That's one less Sharp Sight they'll help you later, so we can probably just get more value out of Esmus later on then. I think that's fine. And 6 damage on turn 3 is pretty decent for us, because obviously playing Mono Ionia pretty much, we don't have a ton of reach, so it's important to establish board dominance. So that's why I think it might be worth it there to keep our Esmus alive. If we can get an extra stat or 2 out of him, that feels really good.
Beyond imagination, that is the Durand way.
Do we ever draw instead of just dropping Shen? I think we just play Shen, right?
2 worlds, 1 balance.
What? Why? Like, there's no way they can... I get, like, they could pokey stick. GG. Alright, we'll take it, we'll take it. Okay, I'm sorry. I think my volume was, like, super loud at the beginning there. I'm sorry about that if that was outlandishly loud. Okay, that was a good one. I think one thing I don't do enough in my mulligans is search for a Shen. I kind of, like, look for early units and the early chime planters, stuff like Bird and Esmus. But I think Shen's the catalyst in the deck, right? The free barrier return is kind of where you get a lot of your value, and I just don't think I've really prioritized that enough. This seems like it could be a tough matchup. I would like at least one deny. I don't know how many this deck runs. Like, this is a really awkward hand. This just feels like it happens too often, right? Because this deck, we really want to be racing them down, I think, almost. We haven't, like, yeah, we don't have any response to this for at least 2 turns. That's pretty bad. Okay, that saves us a little bit here. It's not perfect, but it's something. Because we do need our Chimes to get out of range of stuff like the Shock Blast and Mystic Shots. Because our champions themselves are pretty chunky, right? So they'll pretty much be forced to use Vengeances or eventually Ruination. But they can just take another free attack here. And I don't even want to play Kinky Student because we just kind of get roasted by a Vile Feast or a Mystic Shot here. And we don't have a 2-mana barrier yet. Maybe I just need to be more patient with this deck. Like, maybe this isn't as bad as I think it is. But it feels pretty bad. Not that the deck feels bad itself, but like this specific situation, if that makes sense. So like, if we just drop Bard here, or Shen, doesn't he just get like roasted by a Vengeance, and then they get a big attack next turn? And what do we get if we play Bard? Like, maybe we can try to play it a few times. I'd rather them use a Vengeance on Bard. I think we can attack here because, unless they use a Thermo Beam, there's no reason he's not safe at... Oh, okay, that works too. Stink. Oh wait, that's not good. Alright, well, we'll just pass and use him as a blocker next turn. If they try to Vile Feast, we can just Notify. Bird's not bad either. We could Bird Shen this turn, keep up Notify. I think we just take the block here if we can. We don't particularly care if they use Vile Feast in reaction. Or like, we don't... Yeah, we're not going to force them to use Vile Feast, we'll just take the block, I suppose. Hopefully get some units down. I don't know how we win this though. They're going to start getting a lot of value soon, I think, out of their bigger cost cards. Their Heimerdinger's going to come down eventually. I think it's safe to play Shen then. We'll get the extra Chime on Kiku Student, which is nice, so she's safe from Vile Feast. Oh, that's nice too, actually. But is it any better than just playing her? Maybe this is safer because this plays around Mystic Shot if we play Key Guardian. Because until we attack, we don't actually have a cheap barrier in hand. And I don't particularly want to have to spend all 4 mana here. We get the extra cycle. Then we can Bird, Barrier Bird if we need to. Vengeance. I think we can just play our next Shen then. Like, I feel like we're kind of just running this guy under the bus, right? Like, he's just gonna die next turn. But we'll get 1 turn at least of a nice attack. Like, this is a really nice attack. This feels so good into most matchups. But we're just not putting enough pressure on them to where they really care, right? Like, 3 damage. They lose their 2-1. That's not bad for them, because we can't threaten a 1 health unit, right? They can kind of just chump block our stuff for as long as they need to. Until our stuff just gets overwhelmingly big. Like yesterday, I always complain about Bard Chimes. I really like this deck because of Shen. And I don't really like Bard, right? But this kind of just like makes Shen viable, so that's how you have to play him. But yesterday I was playing this, I got 9 Chimes in 1 draw, and I had like a Kinky Student get like 8 of them. It was so bonkers. Like if they attack with Hextech Handler, I think we have to block with a 2-1. I really want to go wide at the moment, because if they don't have a protection surge, that's kind of how we look like we're going to win this game. But, we can't take the 4 damage, I don't think. Going down to 10 is fine, like, there's no real breakpoint there, but with stuff like Shock Blast still available, however many Mystic Shots, right? We know they can get burned from their Ferrous Financiers, their Flash of Brilliances. I don't want to get too low, because we do have stuff like Spirit's Refuge, if it comes to it, that I don't want to just die on stack, right? Okay, well this is good that they're not using this timer. That'd be like really, really, really bad for us. If they flood the board with turrets, like it's really difficult for us to win. If they can kind of like just keep that value going, because we have to run our guys into their wall over and over. I'm just gonna block here, I think. And like here's where it's awkward, right? Do we just like hope we draw a unit? Like a Silent would be pretty good soon, I think. I don't want to run out of value. Obviously with the Ferrous Financiers and the Flash of Brilliances, they're probably gonna have some heavy hitting spells soon that we can't really match. We don't have like any protection up either for like more vengeances. Whoa, that's a card. Well, do we ever just take our open attack? Like what if they have a protection surge? We kind of get roasted. Oh, that's brutal. No. Alright, we'll get in there. I think we'll just block that. I mean, what do we do if we can just Notify this? Is that any better than barriering? Wait, if we barrier, he'll level up and put him just outside of range of this 5-1. So if they cast any other spell though, okay, sweet, we're fine with that. Like if they have any other spell on stack, the Hex Handler would kill him. So that's fine. We're not looking super happy at the moment, but... Oh. Well, jeepers, that's not nice. I don't really want to burn a Spirit's Refuge here, but... And the thing is, it's burst speed, so I can't test it. Would it still heal them? I don't know. Let's try it for science. Okay. We're happy with that. Because we're not beating them if they ever get back to full health and then they drop a huge Heimerdinger turn. I really need a unit. We need to, like, Key Guardian assign in. That'd be really good. Oh, this isn't good. Wow, we've burnt 4 Chimes now. That's tough. I miss Shen, man. I was like, the first... Oh, that's not good. We can't do anything about their turn right now. Like, they could just do whatever they want. We're kind of at their whimsies. Okay. That feels pretty bad. I think this one's over. We just ran out of any interaction. We'll play it out. Maybe we can just sign in, try to come back, but with only 11 health, we only need 2 attacks, maybe with a ghost. That's not gonna do it. Okay, come on, Key Guardian. Give us something good. Ah, okay. Okay, hold on a second. If we Spirit's Refuge, how much will she get? She'll go up to 7. I don't like that. I don't think we're living the next turn, are we? Oof, that looks tough. Okay. Yeah, this is looking tough. We'll gain a lot of health from our Green Glade Caretaker, but probably not enough. GG. That was fun. I feel like that was a pretty good matchup for a while, but we just, I think, hit a few dead jaws there in the middle. Like hitting Ghost and then the Green Glade Caretaker, like stuff like that just wasn't really enough at that point. I don't know, I feel like I could have played that much better earlier in the game, but like I said, I just feel kind of, it feels hard for me to win with this deck in in those types of matchups. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to play it out. Because it feels just like, I don't know, you're kind of running into a wall if you're just trying to play for board in those type of decks. They just have a lot of answers. That if you have to have like, you have to have enough cards in your hand to put threats on the board and always be able to protect them. I don't know. We'll see. Like this looks like a pretty okay hand. But against Genie, I really want to find our early units. I think Esmus is pretty much always keep even though he doesn't block himself. Very happy with this. Very happy with this. Okay, this is a really nice hand.
I have my orders.
Oopsies, I should have attacked there because if they were willing to take the trade. I don't know why I didn't do that. I for some reason I thought they had the attack token. My bad.
I never miss. I'll shoot the wings off
Sure.
a wasp.
It's a lot of damage.
Never see it behind.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the
And they have Jin in hand. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be brutal. We can't play any unit next turn either. That's something. Is it particularly good? It's not bad. They can't play Jin this turn either, so. Okay. As long as they don't have Flock. I don't think they play Flock. I think they're just like very damage based, right? So if they play Jin, we can drop Shen. Because this sun's the weakest enemy, right? Oh dang. Sure. We'll just play Shen then. Hopefully get a nice block here. Protect our Kinku. How much damage are we taking here? A lot. Do we ever just do this? I really want to kill those guys though. It's like, take 1 extra damage now from the Sunhawk to prevent a damage later. Is that ever worth it? Because we can probably stay pretty wide on board now, right? Is 8 ever... I don't think 8 is ever different from 7. Because they play Decimate. They don't have Gate Excited, right? So the 3-digit damages don't matter. Stink. Okay. I guess next in favor is a 3-point thing that might matter. But yeah, like if they ever play... Like they can just attack with 1 Sunhawk and deal 2 damage with the Corsairs in the background. So I don't know if that's ever the right play or not. But... I'd really like a Spirit's Refuge, huh? So we need to keep up 2 mana in case they have a Decimate. We can play Health Potion. This feels pretty far gone though. Oh dang. This is looking tough. I really need a Spirit's Refuge. I don't even think that'll do it though. We need like a Deny? Because they're doing 1 damage automatically with the Corsair. So we can go here, here, here. That's a pretty big attack. They don't even need to block though. Yeah, they can literally just take it all. So what do we need off the top here? Not Bard. He does not do anything. Could we draw into anything? I don't think so. I think Jin just kills us on his attack, right? He deals 5 damage. Like, this is such a good board right now if they don't have so much damage. But we can't really interact with it, unfortunately. It's a lot of damage.
The balance has been maintained.
The balance has been maintained. He's so cool. I just found the other day that Zed killed Shen's dad or uncle or something like that. Like, dude. What's that all about? Taking 6 damage on the stack. Bonkers. GG. That's so funny. Man. Roasted by Jin Aggro. Unfortunate. I don't feel like that should be an awful matchup. With stuff like Spirit's Refuge. I don't know. Like, that's another one. Our hand just felt clunky, I suppose. Maybe we're just not running super lucky today. But, like, a Green Blade Caretaker could be okay in that matchup. Maybe an extra bird or 2. Because I don't think they on that turn 1, I don't think that ever matters, right? That 2 damage wouldn't matter too much. It's a fun deck though, it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel very powerful until you hit like your combo turns almost. Like, in the old Demacia decks, stuff like, you know, like Petrified Broadwing is an 0-3 challenge that's just so good, right? Or the 3-4 Vanguard Sergeant. Your units just feel very powerful on their own. Where in this, it feels like you have to have a lot of stuff combining in order to really get your stuff going.
These woods protect their own.
I have my orders.
Another aggro deck. Okay, we get to redeem ourselves. I don't think they take this trade, right? Like, they'd much rather take the 1 damage to deal the 1 damage themselves when they attack. Also, how cool is Legion Saboteur from Foundations? Like, when I think of Legion Runeterra, this is definitely one of the cards that comes to mind. Yeah, like, this feels pretty bad. We can't really do anything about this guy. We're just gonna have to take a bunch of damage from him.
My life for these lands.
I guess our Shadow Assassin can trade with Grenadier. It's not the worst thing in the world. We'll get some elusive damage in here, I suppose, too.
The dark beckons.
Esmus is fine or whatever, but I just want to make sure we can do something next turn.
Arda's gonna make
Oh,
a
that doesn't
meal.
feel great. Well, at least our Shadow Assassin can trade with either, at least, so that's fine. If they develop, we'll just play Shen. If they don't, we'll play Esmus afterwards. Okay. This is good. This can trade with whatever, right? So no matter how they pull Esmus, we're still fine-ish. I don't particularly want to... Okay, that's fine. Really? Okay. I guess I just don't want to deal with the Shen barrier. That's fine then. Well, we take 1 damage, lose our Esmus. We're pretty okay with that. I think we'll just play Esmus. There's no reason for us to Key Guardian him, I suppose. Like, I don't think he's going to be damaged this turn, and I don't particularly... Like, I'd rather use it on their turn. If they develop right, we can Key Guardian our unit and develop that way on their turn. But I guess with 2 on hand, maybe we should just be cycling there.
War Mesa, reporting for duty.
Sure.
The few
Do we ever attack here with Shen instead? Like, I don't think they play Phlox and stuff, right? They're just more damage based. Is it ever worth risking it? Do we just push the 5 elusive damage, or try to trade down their board, I suppose?
Find them unworthy.
Interesting. Okay, so how can we survive this next turn? A homecoming, maybe? I really need to eat enough top, I think. Nice. Oh, that's actually really good. Okay. How do we want to do this? Block here.
Cannot escape.
We can take 1 more damage if we go here, but keep our Esmus alive. Is that ever worth it? We'll see how they respond to this. Because we're fine with clearing their board and just playing our Bard. Looks like a pretty solid attack next turn. If they respond, we can bury your Esmus, maybe? Okay. I was gonna say, like, if they had a Fervor or something, we could maybe homecoming something. So I think we just drop our Bard. Maybe again, I probably should have Key Guardian there. I wasn't thinking of that. Sorry, 1 more unit at the top. I just need to use these Key Guardians without feeling bad. Ooh, I don't like that. We haven't seen our Deny all day. I wonder if this deck runs 1 or 2. I didn't actually check. I haven't memorized the deck list, I suppose is the problem. Okay, we're getting bailed out by these guys. I just need a cycle. I need to look for something, like a Spirit's Refuge. There we go. So we can live through a Decimate, 5-6. So we'll have enough for Spirit's Refuge and Health Potion.
Enforced equilibrium.
Enforced Equilibrium.
They are my protection.
I want to see how they react.
Close.
If they react with a fervor. I think we have the Jam Spear's Refuge, right?
My father's blade.
I guess they could have Quicksand as well. We still have enough to survive a Fervor. And if they don't have Fervor... Okay. As long as they don't have second Fervor. Right? This is testy. Oh, let's go. Oof, okay. Now we're looking pretty solid.
Quick hands make quick work.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. That could have gone pretty poorly. Okay, finally we got our deny too. Nice, let's go. GG. GG. That one was definitely close on that last turn there.
Everything as it should be.
Alright, 2 and 2. Let's see if we can get above 500. Shen's definitely the all-star in this deck. Yeah, I saw Katarina. Man, this deck feels really hard to play against too. He can kind of just stun all of our little dudes, and it makes it very hard for us to push damage without burning barriers and awkward timings. I'll probably just play Esmus on turn 2 instead. Yeah, I guess we'll develop Green Glade Caretaker. Katarina's another problem. We don't have any really good answers to Katarina if they play Katarina on turn 3 or 4. Or 4 we can barrier, but like, if they play her on turn 3 and then open attack on 4, it's very difficult for us to deal with.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Okay, do we ever develop Kinku Student here? What's the point? We can't barrier anything. She's weak to like a Yasuo or a Katarina Blade's Edge. Or a Yasuo stun next turn. So maybe we just attack like this? Which is probably silly. Because they could actually just flock our Green Glade Caretaker afterwards. So maybe they think we're bluffing or something. Because that probably was actually a silly attack. I was just trying to get like the Esmus stats, but I don't think we should go for that attack. Okay, they take it. Which is probably good for us. I think that was kind of a... Yeah, like, that's why I didn't want to play Kinku Student. And it's difficult for us to have a response this turn now. Like, we have to use... What do we even do? If we Spirit's Refuge, we can't, like, it doesn't kill Katarina. So do we just let her hit and kind of move on? Play our Shen and then go to our attack turn? Okay.
It's just an
Esmus, you're probably gone, my friend. But you have done your job. Bird's not bad either.
only fools hesitate.
We're taking so much damage here if we don't do anything. Do I ever just block with Esmus because he's just gonna get flocked anyways? Save 3 damage? Or do we force out the card? I think we force out the card. We have Spirit's Refuge, we have Health Potion. Like, we're not dead yet, right? Kind of just do this, move on. I don't know, doesn't feel good. Maybe that's a bad play, but we don't really have a ton of board presence at the moment, and I think that's how we're ever going to win this, so. We'll move on with this, see how it goes. We can drop a health potion onto Esmus if we need to. Because that could be pretty nice for... Oh yeah, they have enough mana to rally. I didn't think about that. So this doesn't go well. Didn't think they'd replay Katarina right away. Oopsies.
They're afraid. They should be.
Ugh, do we ever block with Esmus? Oh, this feels so bad. We save 4 damage though, and like maybe he pushes 1 extra damage next turn, but he's probably just gonna get flocked, right? Like that doesn't feel very good. I don't know. I think we take the block.
Underestimate. I dare you.
Fade Blade Twirler is another really cool one from Foundations. I miss so many of those cards. It's cool that so many of them are still staples. Like, Fade Blade Twirler is obviously seeing play. Stuff like the Shadow Assassin and the Demolitionist, I think is really cool. How do we ever develop here without just getting roasted? I mean, if we do this, they get Stun Spider. That feels really bad. They could play Hillock. Like, there's so many ways we get punished for ever developing. What do we do this turn if we just attack?
It must be done.
They could have Concussive Palm. That kind of shuts us down.
Nature blesses her followers.
What if we just play Bird and then Homecoming Katarina? That feels really bad though. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's ever okay to develop though. There are so many punishes. Still Tempest. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel just like against this deck you can never really do anything, I suppose. Like, if they just had... Like, what's the 5-mana spell that stuns 2 things as well? It just feels really difficult to develop. We'll just take our stun here.
Now who's got the upper hand?
We're running so much mana too. We'll play Kinku Student if they react with Katarina, or if they start with Katarina, so we can get 2 things with Barrier. We know they're just gonna rally, right? I don't know. Let's just play Bard, I suppose.
No going back. Quick as a blade.
We can't even use Barrier because they just ping it off with Blaze Edge. We could... Homecoming something? Going down to 1 does not seem safe.
There is no dispute.
My life for these lands.
What do I recall? This just dies to a flock and it fizzles. I guess I should have just used Kinky Student as the recall target. I don't know. This feels bad. If this goes through, we get a lethal open attack. We'll just have to use like 5 barriers to make sure stuff doesn't die to flock. I don't know. This feels sketchy. I don't like this play, but I'm not sure what else we're supposed to do. Because I don't think it's too much. It doesn't get much better if we play Kinku Student instead of Bard. Like, we have 2 extra mana left over, which is obviously important, but it's not like game breaking, I don't think. Bard, what does he do if we play him next turn? Not much. Okay, sorry, Shen. Do we ever develop again next turn? They just rally, but then we just attack. If we have flock,
Think you're fast? Cute.
we won't have enough for Shen's Spirit's Refuge. Do we ever have to go for the Kinku Student plan? Just because
Not feel.
Spirit's Refuge is pretty decent here? Oh, I don't like that particularly much.
These woods protect their own.
Let the bloodshed begin.
Fine and wisp.
I guess keep this back as a chump blocker, and we can't do this because we still get leave this to lose to Blade's Edge Flock, and then we won't get any lifesteal. But how do we get value out of? I guess we could do 3 lifesteal. No, it'd be 4. We get so 5 lifesteal. I guess that's pretty much fine. I'll just keep this black. No, it doesn't matter because they have Blade's Edge. So
Who goes there?
we'll just do this, I suppose. This feels so bad. I don't feel like I'm making any good plays with this deck. It's a cool deck, but man, it feels so tough to interact with some of these decks. Sure.
This might hurt.
Okay, we need to really go for Ghost, I suppose.
Blood for Noxus.
Oh, yeah. We'll play our Shen next turn. Hope for a good top deck? Not you, Bard. Go away. I don't want you. I guess Bard Shen is our play this turn, and the next turn we can elusive
Don't summon your own speed.
with Green Good Caretaker to try to kill something.
Two worlds, one balance.
Never going to fail.
We'll just throw Bard under the bus. I don't particularly care if he dies.
Only fools.
Okay. We needed to not die, so we can go like so. Is 5 damage ever safe? I don't want to get damage on anything. I think we need to attack next turn. So we're kind of blocking here. They can rally one more time. We'll just throw Bard on the bus again. Okay, that's a bit annoying.
It's just an end.
That's pretty bad, actually.
I dare you.
Let the bloodshed begin.
So now we have to throw away one of our champs, or one of our, well, we have to actually block with 2 things, which is a bit annoying. So how do we ever win next turn, though? We have to probably rely on Green Glade Caretaker. They can only kill one thing. So I guess it doesn't matter really which one they kill. Which one do we want them to kill? We want them to kill... We don't want them to kill Shen, so we'll go like this. I don't know how much, because even if they ping this, it'll put him down to 1. Okay, sweet, sweet. So I think we could win next turn.
This might hurt.
Now who's got the upper hand?
Because she'll get, oh, she'll go to 11? Oh no, so we need one more barrier. Oh no, are you serious?
So I go.
Nature blesses
No! 1 damage short.
Oh, it's on.
And then it's okay, whatever. GG's, GG's. Ah, man, that one felt tough. I feel like both of our wins were kind of, like, whatever, not really all that impressive. But we kind of got run over by some of these. Alright, GG's everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't our best performing deck, but man, it feels like there's something there. But, because it has like a 53% win rate overall, but I'm just not doing so hot with it. It seems like a fun deck though. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time. If you're watching on Twitch, I upload every VOD to YouTube afterwards in case you ever miss one. And if you're watching on YouTube, come hang out on Twitch. I always enjoy talking with you guys, messing around with some new cards and stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you next time.